I have to admit, here at PricePlow, we can be a bit nitpicky at times over prop blends or demanding the biggest doses. But sometimes I have the unique opportunity to talk about mainstream products and give you an exclusive look behind the blend to know what's in the product and why it works for so many people. Today, we're going to be doing that for Juiced Aminos, a cult classic amino product from Animal that a lot of people use, but not a lot of people consider why it works for them. So I got the exclusive scoop on what's in the scoop and why it works so well. So today, let me give you a little bit of info on what's in Animal Aminos and why it is different from the rest of the industry working for you. So obviously, let's start off from the top and talk about a couple different things. Animal is a incredibly popular company since the 70s. They take up a place in the industry for hardcore individuals, and I want to remind you of that off the bat. Animal makes more content about dieting and training than they do about actual supplements, and I think that's a pretty huge statement. They constantly tell their viewers, these just supplement your diet. This is not meant to replace dieting. Right? And that's a really big deal for aminos because the data says for aminos, if you're perfect in your diet, you don't need them. However, that being said, how many people do you know that absolutely meet their required protein intake for the day every single day? Not many, probably not even yourself. So that all being said, Juiced Aminos is supposed to be an intra-workout amino that is supposed to help take you from where you are to really where you want to be. And whether you love it or you hate it, I've come to accept that proprietary blends are part of the industry. People want to cover up their formulas, they want to keep it secret. And whether or not I agree with that, or whether or not I think that they could be easily tested for by another company, it's going to exist. But the nice thing about it is that because of the position that I have in the industry, I'm able to get information and disseminate it to the masses, and I can help you guys understand a little bit better what's behind the proprietary blend. With that all being said, yes, this is a prop blend. Yes, they are hiding some of the dosages, but I'm here to give you most of them. This is already a loved product. I'm not trying to convince you to buy it. I'm trying to just make a little bit of content. If you are already taking this product, if you are considering taking the product, if you are curious about the product, here's the dosages behind the prop blend. Furthermore, there's an interesting switch with one of the EAAs. This is not a complete amino acid. This is not a complete essential amino acid formula. There's one missing and they put something else in for it. And I do think it is actually an interesting switch that I do think a lot of people miss. I've got an interesting theory, not really theory, I've got actual data to back it up on why they did it and why it works for so many people in a way that you probably didn't expect. So without further ado, let's jump in and talk about Animal's Juiced Aminos. So we're talking about a 12.5 gram scoop, 2 proprietary blends, a 6 gram Bcaa EAA matrix, and a 4 gram Juiced AA performance blend. We've got 6 grams of amino acids to start off. 5 grams of that is going to be BCAAs. That's not on the label, but that's what they've given us to share. Now, what they do actually list on their website is that the BCAAs are at a 2:1:1 ratio. So you got 5 grams of BCAAs, you got 2.5 grams of leucine, 1.25 grams of isoleucine and valine. BCAAs, I don't need to tell you guys what they are. We got tons of content on it. If you want to learn about why they work, what they do, check it out on our page or our blog. I go really far in depth in a couple different videos. I'm not going to do it on this one because this one's really about Juiced Aminos and what it does for you. Long story short, BCAAs are the light switch for muscle protein synthesis. It turns the light on, and then you need to feed your body amino acids to create muscle. The devil's advocate to all of this is leucine is high in meat. When you consume a meal with animal proteins in it, it turns on muscle protein synthesis, and then the rest of the protein that you break down creates other amino acids within the body that you use to create that protein in your body. But sometimes we need a little bit extra. And so intra-workout, you could take something like Juiced Aminos, and that's what's going to get you the rest of this product, the lysine, the arginine, the methionine, the phenylalanine, the threonine, and the histidine. Unfortunately, that blend, that other gram of the 6 grams, we don't have the dosages for. But what I can tell you is what these amino acids will do for you and why one of these was switched out for a non-essential amino acid, very interestingly. So, lysine, hydrochloride. See it in every amino acid product. It's an essential amino acid. Of course, one of the ones, obviously it's called essential because your body does not produce it. There are 9 of those. Your body doesn't produce it. It has to take it in from the environment, and lysine is one of those. Now, lysine is pivotal for protein synthesis as well as collagen synthesis. So not only does it help you make muscle, but it also helps repair tendons. Really important if you are lifting heavy, as most animal athletes probably are. It also helps with things like red blood cell formation, healthy immune function, and even wound healing, which is kind of interesting. It might have some parallels with actual recovery from training. This is the most ketogenic amino acid after leucine, which means it's not going to get turned into glucose, which is pretty helpful. And that's why it's the first one there. It has a lot of different benefits. Usually going to be one of the first ones in the EAA blend. Now, after that, we have a non-EAA, arginine hydrochloride. Now, arginine was really popular in the early 2000s, late 90s. Then it became obsolete. And then a couple other studies came out showing that, well, it might have some benefits. And if you look further on in the formula, you'll see citrulline malate. Now, citrulline malate, again, is in a prop blend. And we'll be talking about the dosage later. But Very important to note that there are quite a few different studies on the synergistic effects of arginine and citrulline together. One study by a large company called Kiwa was for a patented product named Velox, which is a blend of both arginine and citrulline at lower dosages. We're talking like 600 milligrams here, something that's absolutely feasible to have in both these blends that ended up having a huge benefit in pump. If you use products like Plasma Surge from Glaxon, really popular product, they use this exact blend to create a lot of pump. Now, this isn't a pump product, it's an intra-workout product, but it could be supporting that pump. A lot of people who use it are bodybuilder or physique athletes. And so it's possible that if you're really loving this, if you're really getting great pumps, it's probably coming from those two products being added together. Now, they don't make any claims on pump on this product, but it is important to note that that is a really strong possibility. They were very deliberate in using arginine here instead of tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that's high in turkey. It's a precursor to melatonin. It has a lot of implications for sleep. That's why you hear about it every Thanksgiving after turkey. We don't have any problems with that being in EAAs. I don't think it's actually a probable consideration for sleepiness during a workout, but Animal was deliberate in not using it and very deliberate in using arginine. So for that reason, I wanted to bring up the synergy between that and citrulline later on in the formula. Now, methionine next is super critical in genetic instructions. Sounds really important for muscle growth, right? Sounds really important for a lot of different things. But it's the first amino acid in many different peptide chains, so it's very useful for forming peptides, which are parts of proteins. It's also a methyl donor and can convert into cysteine, which is really important for immune health. Another reason that we use proteins in EAAs. Now, that being said, because it is a methyl donor, it is one of the worst tasting amino acids. This is where you get a lot of that really creepy tasting from EAAs. However, because of flavor technology, most of it's been covered up. Juiced Aminos is known for a good taste. You don't really notice it all that much. This used to be a problem back in the day. For that reason, I'm actually a little bit impressed that it's not the last ingredient here. Most often you see methionine buried all the way at the end. And while we can't see the dosages here, and it's possible that methionine is literally 1 milligram more than histidine, I'm doubtful of that, and it's nice to see that it is at least significantly higher than the bottom of the formula. Now, phenylalanine is a feel-good amino acid here. It helps with production of neurotransmitters as well as catecholamine production. Dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine helps with the production of all of these. Having this around is always important. Feeling great during your workout is very important, but also downstream can help with fat oxidation, which is important if you are a physique athlete or if you just want to be focusing on body composition. No one wants to be fatter. Even if you aren't a physique athlete. Second to last here, we have threonine, which converts to serine as well as glycine. Again, super helpful for immune system as well as collagen synthesis. Lastly, we've got histidine here, which pairs up really well with beta-alanine for carnosine production. Although it isn't the rate limiter, it is part of the process of making carnosine with beta-alanine, which is obviously a huge ingredient that everyone uses in their pre-workouts. But it's also really important for anabolic pathways, which sounds really good, but it is really important for muscle protein production in the body. So again, we don't know the dosages of these. I wish that we would have been able to share these with you and give you the whole panel, but most people are really concerned with BCAAs. I don't know if that's always the most important part of the formula. I am a bit of a proponent for full spectrum EAAs. We don't have huge dosages here, but there are a few small synergistic reasons why it might be working for a lot of different people. Now, moving into the Juiced AA Performance Blend. Probably the Juiced Amino Acid Performance Blend. It's a 4-gram blend, and we have more of the doses actually in this blend. Right off the bat, you got 2 grams of taurine, which almost makes up for not knowing the rest of the amino acids in the first formula. 2 grams of taurine is it's one of my I was so excited to see that in this product. 2 grams of taurine makes a lot of sense why this product helps a lot with endurance and performance at the gym. Taurine is one of my favorite ingredients in the entire world of supplements. It helps with everything in athletic purposes, like almost, I can't say everything, but it is a jack of all trades when it comes to performance and endurance and just athletic purposes in the gym. There was a great meta-analysis done on it. I don't remember the year, but it's cited really often on our blog, obviously, because almost every pre-workout has taurine. I'll throw it up on the screen here if you want to see a little bit of it. Endurance, nitric oxide, focus, hydration, power output, you name it, taurine probably does it. Let's move on to the rest of the formula. So we've got a gram of citrulline malate here. Most often it's a 2-to-1 ratio. It's not looking like a huge dosage here. At best, maybe it's a 1-to-1 ratio. We get 500 milligrams of it. That all being said, I believe this is really only included in here as a synergistic counterpart to arginine. If you're going to tell me that, you need 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate to get benefits out of it, I totally understand where you're coming from in a pre-workout setting. In the case here where you're pairing it with arginine, you do not need all that. That being said, this is not a pre-workout. You don't need a ton of citrulline malate in an intra-workout. It's too late for that. You don't want all that amount of powder, and it's just going to waste space in the actual intra-workout. A gram of it here is not a lot. Absolutely, I agree with you guys on that. I know you're going to leave comments about that. They're putting it in here for a synergistic effect with arginine, and that's all it is. The malic acid in the citrulline malate, because remember, citrulline malate is not bonded anymore. It's just citrulline and malic acid. Malic acid may have some benefits for energy, but it's likely a very small dose and not really all that important. In most cases, it's not really going to help with orange, but if you have like a soury product, it might help with that flavoring. But for any of you that are talking about big doses of citrulline, pair this with an Animal Pump Pro. That pump product is amazing, and it absolutely will pair very well, adding in a big dose of citrulline. You could also take it with Fury, which I believe has some citrulline in it as well. Now, lastly, we have a small hit of glutamine, L-carnitine tartrate, and betaine anhydrous. You've only got a gram of these three. So we've talked about these ingredients in great depth on a lot of different products. Likely you're not getting a huge dose of it here. I'm not going to champion these products at these dosages. Glutamine has been studied in muscle soreness and recovery, but really your body has so much of it, and it really gobbles it up in the gut for immune health and stomach health, to the point where it's not really relevant for recovery, but it does help a lot with gut health, which can be really, really conducive to absorbing amino acids and other proteins and nutrients. L-carnitine L-tartrate is really helpful for recovery. We really actually like it for recovery. It's a great addition to an amino acid product. Again, it's a small dosage here, so not sure how much it's actually really making a difference. And betaine anhydrous is an ingredient that we always love to see. Most often you want at least 2.5 grams of it pre-workout. Again, it's the bottom of this prop blend, 4-gram prop blend. You're already using up 3 grams of it, so we have a gram left of these 3 ingredients. Don't really know how much you're getting in it here. If you're looking for the benefits from these ingredients, I would recommend you use another product to add some more to it and bolster it up. And that's the whole product. Juiced Aminos is a cult classic product. A lot of people love it. I see it all the time in the gym, all sorts of different athletes using it. And whenever I ask, people say, you know what? I love it. I hadn't used the product before just because it was a prop blend. I generally stay away from them, but always heard great things until I'd gotten a box of these. And honestly, I do enjoy the product. I like the flavor. I like the way it feels. But I do see it add something to my workout. After I've taken my pre-workout, I take this again. I get my BCAAs. I get that arginine and citrulline. And you get a little bit of other things in there, which we don't really know the dosages of. Is it the most powerful product in the entire universe? No. That's not what Animal's here for. Animal's here to help supplement your diet and your training to help you out. Jason has been doing this for a long time, and it's kind of weird. The more I get into this industry, the more I decide that I don't know everything. And the more that I realize that these formulators that have been around for some time do have some tricks up their sleeves. And whether or not they want to share that with the world or put it behind a prop blend is, really up to them. I definitely can understand why this product works for so many people. That citrulline and that arginine blend has been very powerful. I've seen it, I've felt it, I have tried it, I've beta tested it. It is strong. That alongside this amino acid complex, honestly, I do think it's doing some great stuff. If you're looking for some products to completely blow you away with huge dosages, there's not a lot of animal products that are going to do that for you. That's just not what they're here for. They're not here to blow you away with dosages. They're here to help assist you. They're here to help teach you with their pro athletes how you should be dieting, how you should be training, how you should be supporting that with supplements. And that's a big reason of why I love them so much. That being said, I hope this was helpful. I hope it helped teach you something. I hope you learned something. If you like the product, comment below. Tell me, do you like it? Do you use it frequently? I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll probably be throwing this into my intra-workout a little bit more often now that I have it. I come from wanting the biggest dosages in the entire world. That's the way I used to think about things. And I've come to more of a simple, what do I really need process? And Animal has made a lot more sense to me after coming to that realization. I used to be a huge Animal fan. I went to all the Animal barbell clubs. I hung out with all the athletes when I could. I took all their products like Pack. This is before Aminos was out. I took their tests. I took their M-Stack. I took all their stuff. And eventually I started to kind of just pull it back and use only really the things I need. And that's what makes Aminos make more sense to me, or at least the juiced Aminos variant here. So I'll stop ranting at this point. But if you learned something from this product, if you have something to say, comment below. I do check the comments. I'd love to talk about the product. Let me know. Do you prefer something higher dose? Do you prefer something lower dose? Do you like that with juiced Aminos you're getting like just what you need? Do you trust proprietary blends? Let me know below. As always, guys, I do have to say we got these for free from Animal. We do have a business affiliate relationship. So that all being said, I hope that you learned something. And as always, thanks for making this far in the video. Have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.